Hi. Morning. Bienvenue to Pilobolus. My name is Gaspar.
And I'm Josie.
And we're one-third of Pilobolus.
And we're sure you're wondering what Pilobolus is.
Well, for those of you who don't know, Pilobolus is a fungus. Yes, it's a very interesting fungus. It's phototropic, which means light-sensitive.
Yes. And Pilobolus always twists and turns, so it's always facing the sunlight. And it's coprophilous, which means dung-loving.
Yes, indeed. It does grow in barnyard, pastures, and cow manure. Pilobolus is a very feisty little thing. It's about 1/4 of an inch tall. And when it's ripe, it can shoot its spore up to 8 feet away.
Yeah, right over a cow. That's like a 6-foot-tall man throwing a baseball about half a mile.
Yes, indeed. This little thing is so fascinating and extremely powerful. That's why we call ourselves a Pilobolus.
And today we're going to show you some of our dances and tell you a bit about how we make them.
But before we go any further, we want you to know that we are very different than many other dance companies because we were founded by 4 men who met in northern New Hampshire with absolutely no dance training.
Yes, and because they didn't have any dance training, they were able to think about dance in new and different ways.
For example, the dance that you just saw is entitled Walk London. It is one of the company's first dances. It is actually this dance that started Pilobolus. It was choreographed almost 30 years ago. That's pretty much older than a lot of you here. And it was named after a dairy farm in northern Vermont, and certainly did not look like a dance that was being taught in class at that time.
Yeah, that's right. And because it didn't look like a dance, a lot of people didn't know what to call it. But audiences enjoyed it. They were laughing. They were having fun. It looked like fun, and it is fun.
And indeed, they were having fun, and I had a blast doing it too. And the movements just come from playing around. And this time, it was a different kind of playing around. It's called improvisation. It is the process through which we found all the material to make up a dance.
And another interesting point about Pilobolus that makes us a little different from other dance companies is that aside from the 6 performers that you just saw, there are 4 artistic directors, and we all create the works that you see.
Yes, we are a collaborative company, which means that we don't have just one person who come to the studio and just lay a project on the dancers. No, everybody gets to say something, contribute something. For example, I may come up with a movement and just pass it on to Josie. She'd take that movement and add something to it and pass it on to the next dancers. You know, everybody gets to do something and have fun.
Yeah. The next piece you're going to see is a little bit like that also.
Yeah, it's one of our newer dance. It's we've only been performing it once, just for the first time in just a few months ago. Ladies and gentlemen, just relax and enjoy the show.
The dance is called Arango Tango.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Benjamin.
And I'm Otis Cook.
Now, that last piece was called Arango Tango. The music was written by Astor Piazzolla, a famous Argentinian composer known for his tangos. Arango Tango is one of Pilobolus' newest pieces, and so it means that it'll continue to change a little bit over time. Now, generally, we feel like when we finish a piece, it feels it's most complete when it's finally performed in front of you, our live audience, and you actually help us understand our pieces better.
Yeah, sometimes we can actually feed off of your responses, and it really helps our performances to grow to a higher level. And that's the great thing about dance, is that it's actually alive, and it's growing every moment we do it.
The interesting thing is that if you're a musician searching for sheet music, you have about 500 years of resources to pull from.
Yeah, but with modern dance, you might have only about 80 years or so to pull from. So each time we're actually making a piece, we're changing the history of our art.
As mentioned before, we are collaborative, so we do everything together in groups. But most importantly, we move in groups.
Yeah, we get to move together. We get to play with these weights and counterweights, balances, lifts, and throws, as you just saw. And it's fun. I mean, we get to play with all the possible physical inventions, all the physical possibilities that you can think of.
Now, I'm sure you all have seen that working together like this is also about personal relationships. The way we move tells something about how we feel about each other emotionally. And it's very easy for stories to grow out of this. We tell stories to each other all the time, and like most stories, they get better with each telling.
Well, take, for example, the last piece you saw. I bet you don't all agree on what that piece was all about, and that's fine. Modern dance can say several different things at the same time, and it can reveal a little deeper bit of your psychology, if you want to say that. And it can mean different things to different people.
Yes, it's about your own interpretation, but not all dance needs to have a story, and not all dances are about groups either, such as this next piece, which is a solo, meaning for one person. It's all about movement, and it's called Pseudopodia.
Matt.
Hello, I'm Matt.
And I'm Josie. Hello.
Okay, that last piece that you saw was called Pseudopodia, and did any of you guys see two Greek roots that you might recognize from school or something? First one is pseudo, which
It's
means
false,
exactly like a pseudonym, and the other one is podia or pod,
like foot.
and that's in pedal, like bicycle pedal or a centipede or a millipede or something. Okay, now that piece is a solo. Becca's our soloist, but really it's kind of a duet. It's a duet between Becca and her partner, the floor. See, it's unusual in that it has one single focused idea throughout the whole piece, which is how many ways can Becca roll around on the floor and get around on the floor.
And that all comes from improvisation and play. And play is incredibly important. We're always finding things that surprise us. Sometimes it's bits of movement.
Or sometimes stories.
Yeah, but we're always learning about each other and about ourselves.
Yeah, so while we're playing, we start to investigate these things that we find out about ourselves, and we research them so that we then kind of massage them into a piece. So when you see a dance, it's really like a map or record of these little items that we found while we were improvising.
Yeah, and it's fun, but it's serious too. It's physically and emotionally demanding, and it takes all of our concentration and effort.
Right. I mean, in fact, when we're not on the road, which is about half of our year, we're at home and we're working from 9 to 5. So being a professional dancer is it's a real job.
Yeah, and it's a place where men and women can be equal.
Right.
When we're not in the studio creating and rehearsing, we're traveling all over the world performing.
Yeah, this next piece that you're going to see, it's been performed all over the world, in Israel and Germany and all kinds of places. And it's got all the pieces that we've talked about today. So you're going to see story and
humor.
Yeah, humor and bits of movement, things that you've already seen. It's going to be all of it kind of wrapped up together. So this piece came from about, I guess, like a week of improvising and playing together. And then we sort of massaged that and turned it into a piece. And it becomes a story about how a group lives together and works together and how a group gets along. So it's a lot about us and our company, but we think you guys might relate to it. I mean, you might find that some of it's about you, and we want to see what you think about it. Anyway, the composer, his name is Paul Sullivan, and the piece is called Eros. So we'll
Enjoy.
We'll see you guys.
Losing altitude. 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 Losing altitude.
Hi. We are most, oh wait, we're all here. Great, cool. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to take some questions now, I think. Becca?
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself. Looks like we have a caller from New Jersey. Go ahead, caller.
If I want to do something that you guys are doing, how would I start?
How would you start? Well, get a couple friends, put some music on, fool around, and, you know, do a little partnering. Actually, that's how we make all our dances, is we just put a little bit of music on and start improvising with each other and come up with all the different moves that we do. Let's take another question from the audience.
Okay. Yes?
Hi, when you guys mentioned play, when you guys are putting the pieces together, what do you mean by that?
What do we mean by play? Well, I think we mean exactly what it sounds like. We goof around and we just sort of show off and, you know, we play around. I mean, it's serious because it's improvisation and we have an end in mind, but we're just playing. You guys want to add something to that?
Yeah, we're playing with movement mostly, so we're not necessarily dialoguing at all. We get to jump around and sort of, it's competition sometimes to see who can come up with something more bizarre, and then somebody will spot something that looks sort of interesting and they'll say, oh, I like that, or that was horrible, so get rid of that. And then we just sort of start putting things together like puzzle pieces or just trying to create something that keeps on flowing forward.
It's like if you were at a school dance or a club or something and you're showing each other your moves and you just teach it to each other, and what looks cool and what doesn't, you don't keep.
Okay, we're going to have a caller from Virginia.
Hi.
Caller?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm calling because I like to, I've been watching your show, and I thought it was excellent the way you've taken the dance seriously and also added a little humor to it as well, which is excellent. And I must say that you all are in great shape because I can see that it takes a lot of strength and also flexibility. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering, how many hours a day do you work out, and what type of exercises do you do, for warm-up and things like that?
Okay, well, usually we work 9 to 5 when we're at home, and that's for the most part that's our working out. I mean, I don't lift weights, I lift him, it's that kind of thing. And sometimes we all have different things that we do. I think together we all do probably some yoga and martial arts and some other things like that. So Becky, you want to?
Looks like we're out of time for questions, so I want to thank everybody for coming out today and for tuning in. It was our pleasure to be here, and I want to remind you that the next performing arts series is called Understanding Hamlet, and it's done by the Royal Shakespeare Company, so we hope you'll watch that. And we also invite you to get in touch with us through email, and the number should be on your screen. And you can also visit the Prince William Network and the Kennedy Center websites to learn more about what we're doing. So thanks, and have a great day.